So, after taking some time off YouTube and I'm now making a comeback, I gotta tell you about how I started out as a reseller, okay? How I started, where I started from, because it's probably gonna surprise you. And I am gonna tell you what I did to turn it around on eBay. So, I don't think any reseller has ever really done this, and I am going to prove it to you that when you're selling on eBay, hard work definitely pays off. But this is what happened to me when I copied Daily Refinement on eBay and copied his method, and this is what happened. Listen, I know a lot of resellers, especially me, like everyone has a past and everyone fights demons from time to time. And I'm doing this video to show you, like, I was primarily Amazon and I shifted to only eBay mainly. And I'm going to tell you, it was tough, but this method works. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. So I'm going to show you where I started from me, where I started my reselling adventure. And I'm going to show you to now. And I'm going to show you what has helped me and what hasn't. All right, so I'm going to be honest with you. When I started out, I really had no money. When I started my eBay reselling adventure in this house right here is when I really started getting serious about selling on eBay. So I had an account since 2006. But this house, man, this was a pretty bad neighborhood. This guy was a meth head. He mowed his lawn at like 2 at night, 2 in the morning. And then this house right here, the day I moved in, the fire department literally came down the street because a guy got stuck up in the vent in this attic. He broke in the house to smoke meth, and they had to come get him out. So yeah, it's crazy, real crazy. And so I started buying storage units in this house and filling the house up with storage unit stuff. I would take the stuff I didn't want to eBay to the auction house and unload it in the consignment auction. And then I had a middle bedroom right here. I was a young dad, 20 years old, bought this house at 20 years old. I was a dad, super young, and my daughter's bedroom was here. My bedroom was in the back, and in the middle, okay, there was a bedroom I did eBay in. It was about the size of 3 closets put together. And that's where I did eBay at. So this was probably a 900 square foot house. All right. So I would store stuff out here to sort through if I couldn't fit it in under this carport. This carport was here too when I lived there. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's where I started, and anybody can do this. But I didn't just do it with eBay. So I'm going to explain that. There's a little bit more to the story. So what happened then is, eventually we moved and I couldn't sell the house. So I went ahead and rented it out. So I'm still a landlord to that house. Hate it, but hopefully one day we'll sell it and get rid of it. So anyways, we moved. And I was working a corporate job in retail, and I'd done that for 10 years. And me and my wife, we were just, buried in credit card debt. We had a young kid. I think my daughter was like 9 at the time. Or no, she was younger now. She was probably like 4 or 5. And we lived in this little duplex house with a 1-car garage. I then started, I sat down and I was talking to her, and I'm like, we're living paycheck to paycheck. We need to change something. My job really isn't cutting it. The bills were barely getting them paid. I was actually doing side gigs all the time. And I had this side gig one time to unload this semi-trailer full of furniture. Yeah, I got paid $80, and it was August, and I literally thought I was going to puke. So I was always doing side gigs, and I sat down. I'm like, I'm going to start selling on eBay again, because I took all that time off, and it was quite a few years off, a long time. And she looked at me and she's like, "You are crazy." So then I started from that one car garage, had no heat. So in the wintertime, I was in a coat and I was out there taking pictures in a coat. So then everything took a weird turn. The weird turn is I found YouTube, and I just had started back reselling on eBay, and I was doing it out of this one car garage, right? And I just had found YouTube, and back in the day, no one had a YouTube channel. Like there was like maybe 7 or 8 channels out there on YouTube, maybe a dozen. I don't know. It wasn't very many. Nowadays, you are watching YouTube, right? And someone's on it, you know, someone's like, I just started reselling part-time. And a month later, they are putting out YouTube content. That's today. Like back then, when 8-9 years ago, when I started selling, there was nobody. I mean, there was maybe a dozen channels on YouTube that was like the biggest YouTuber was literally probably 15 to 17,000 subs. And everything has changed so much, but this is where the journey gets really, really, really awesome, is because I found YouTube, and then I had already been selling on eBay for quite some time, even before I started my channel, like since 2006. And so I started my channel, and we're talking, I can't even really remember the dates, but it's been several years ago. My channel is fairly old, and I started doing a little bit of just YouTube to meet people, like live shows, because it's pretty boring, you know, reselling. And I was listing maybe like 15 items a week, right? Like I didn't really know what I know now. It was totally different back in the day. I was looking for items that, you know, I was broke. I started everything with $20, and, you know, so I was like, man, I'm looking for shoes I can buy for $2, and I'm going to buy these shoes for $2 and flip them for $100. Like I was looking for home run items all the time. And back then, that's what the YouTubers, like, that's what they would say. Hey, look for home run items. This is how you make money. And it was only a side hustle back then for me. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. I understand. Like, that's awesome. And I fell in love with reselling, completely in love with it. Like, it was a treasure hunt every day. So then I started a job with Target, and I found Amazon, and I started selling on Amazon, and I became a fairly, you know, I actually, it was a year ago, I sold almost 500,000 on Amazon, and I found Amazon, my YouTube channel started really taking off, and it blew up. And, you know, the thing is my YouTube channel blew up, and it was very surreal. But the thing is I started doing more videos that would get clicks, not real videos all the time. And so my goal now is starting back is to be real, but I'm also going to do popular videos, but I'm going to do my spin on them, which is like the real version of them, right? So, you know, I started selling on Amazon. I made a lot of money, and then the pandemic hit. All right, let's back that up for a second. So before the pandemic, I worked at Target for 3 years. And I was selling on Amazon. I kept selling on Amazon. I sold on Amazon for a few years. And then I lost my job at Target. And I didn't get fired. They basically said, we're cutting your position and we want to transfer you. And I said, no, I quit. And I quit. And then I went full-time resale. I actually became a salesman for copiers for a year. And then I built my business on the back end when I was doing that. So when I was doing YouTube, for me, it was like, I either have to make it or I have to keep working this crappy job, and I have to sell a decent amount on Amazon. So I was selling my butt off on Amazon part-time and built things up. And I was more serious about Amazon. I only had about a couple hundred items on eBay mainly at the time. And I was all about that Amazon FBA life. So I was, you know, going, you know, I had a couple viral videos on YouTube, and I did all this, and I got to tell you this whole story for this to really make sense. And then things kind of happened. I lost my job at Target. Okay. I went to sell copiers, and then I lost my job doing that because they were doing cutbacks, and I either had a choice to either keep working there, or I could take they gave me like a couple $1,000. I had to leave, to quit. So I did that, and that's what I did. And then I went full-time reselling, and I was killing it on Amazon FBA, and then the pandemic hit. And I was doing all this out of my house. Okay, I was doing it out of my house. I didn't have anywhere else to go. I didn't have an office building. Just doing it out of my house, which is about 2,800 square feet. So I had a lot of room. But I was doing mainly Amazon FBA. And the pandemic hit, and Amazon got really tough. RA got really tough. And I seen a lot of things coming down the pipeline with Amazon that I'm like, I need to pivot. And I pivoted to eBay. I got back to my roots, and I pivoted to eBay. And I just want to show you this. So this is my house now, and let me kind of show you the front end of it right here. So it's not nothing like fantastic or huge, or it's not a mansion. It's about like 2,600 square feet, I think, something like that. It has a whole finished basement, and I really started getting serious about eBay when we lived at the other house, when I had the garage, and then we moved here, and I had a few hundred items. I was mainly doing Amazon. Okay. And then a lot of stuff went sideways with Amazon, and it's still sideways, and I'm glad I got out. I still have an account, but I don't have any apps connected to it. Like, I don't even have anything in Amazon, but I started doing more eBay, and I'm like, man, I was selling on Amazon anywhere from about 60 to 80K a month. 80K was my highest month, and I was killing it. The pandemic crippled me. I lost 2 suppliers, which were my main suppliers. RA got crappy. That's retail arbitrage, if you don't know what RA is. And I was like, I got to go into eBay. I had always sold clothing. I had always sold hard goods, and I had always sold kind of everything. And so I started listening to Chris Lynn, Daily Refinement. All right. And I said, I'm not an expert on eBay. I'm an expert on Amazon. On Amazon, I can tell you everything about Amazon. I can tell you BSRs, bestseller ranks. I can tell you how to make listings good. I can tell you PPC campaigns, but I knew nothing about eBay. I was completely lost. I had sold, I dabbled. I had a few hundred items listed. That's it. I was an eBay dabbler, and I was mainly I mainly sell on Amazon, and I was listing my returns from Amazon on eBay. That's all I did. I mean, I was mainly 100% Amazon, like maybe 98% Amazon, 2% eBay. Okay. So that was that's the backstory right there. Honestly, I'm leaving some details out about my life because my life has been kind of a crazy train wreck at a lot of points in my life. I came from a really poor family. I didn't have money. I wasn't born into money. So I'm leaving a lot of details out, and some details I have to kind of think about because it's been a kind of a crazy life. It's been crazy. I mean, I've never been arrested. I've never been nothing like that, nothing hardcore, but I've just had a crazy life. So, I've done a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things, all that stuff. So I pivoted out of Amazon, started back on eBay, and I started listing here and there and was trying to figure eBay out. Like I said, I was not an eBay expert. So I started watching Chris, like I said, Daily Refinement, and some of the stuff he started saying started really making sense in his podcasts with him and Tech and Sports. And it really, really, really made sense. So I started listing. I picked a number in my head, okay? And I said, I'm going to try to hit this 7 days a week. 7 days a week. 30 items a day. And I started back into clothing, but I also sell hard goods. I'm an everything store. And I know that Chris says you probably shouldn't be an everything store niche down. And he's right. most of the time, like that is the case, 98% of the time, I think that you should niche down and pick one category. But for me, I've been doing this for so long. I have over the years learned multiple categories. And he will tell you that on his podcast that you know, a lot of people know multiple categories. That's done this a lot of years. And so I've done this a lot of years and I know multiple categories. Now, the number one problem I have with shipping is shipping. Like literally, because I'm an everything seller, the number one problem I have is literally shipping out all the different stuff. It takes me twice the time. So if I have like a bunch of clothing and I'm shipping those out, those are easy. And then I go to like a vintage toy that needs a box size down and this that needs a box size down. That's a lot of time looking for a box, sizing it down. I keep a wide array of boxes, but being an everything seller is not always what it's cracked up to be. So I was hitting about 70% of my goal. Some weeks it was 50, some weeks it was 80. I wasn't really consistent. And so I tightened a lot of stuff up, got really consistent. And then I actually listed so many items that I was stacking totes on my table, my dining room table. I was out of room. I had no more room to give. So I had to either make a decision, either to go back to do more Amazon or buy a building. Well, this is what I did. I decided to completely get rid of Amazon, and I still have an account, but I don't have anything at Amazon. And I decided to go full eBay, 100%. And it's been great. I bought a building. I owe about $28K left on the loan. I bought it for $35. And now by copying kind of what Chris said about eBay, I literally had to buy a building and put everything in. And I'm also right now, I'm just coming off a $3,000 sales week. And in the last couple days, I have sold over like $1,500 in like 2 days. So yeah, I have bad days. There's going to always be bad days, but I am building this up and I'm kind of, you know, now I'm actually seeing what I need to do and I'm making my own go at it. I'm also selling a mixture of stuff. I have a lot of high-end stuff listed, but I also have a lot of everyday value stuff listed. So like these Beanie Babies will be literally $8.99 each. And they will sell for $8.99 each. Even though there's lower Beanie Babies out there, I have been listing these up and selling them for $8.99 a piece like crazy. Yeah, I am doing a lot of work, and this is like my death pile room. Don't look. And I'm doing a lot of work, okay? And it's a marketplace listing. And so with doing all this work, this is my active inventory right here. And I bin it up, but I'm going to have to do some more rooms because I'm actually going to list that death pile room and make it into storage. And I'm going to put shelving in these two rooms. So it's going to be shelving. This is stuff that's like too big to fit into a bin. And this is what I do with it. I know it's kind of crazy, but I know where it's all at. And then this is all numbered. And, you know, I just set a goal. Kind of like when you watch Chris's video, you set a goal. And I set a goal. And then this was the outcome. Was this. I am literally about 60 items away from hitting 4,000 eBay listings. So I'm going to be honest, you know, Chris's method does work. And I'm kind of proof of that because I was not a good eBay seller. I was a good eBay seller, but I wasn't a volume seller. And I think that eBay is best if you do sell volume, if you can figure it out. It's, you know, there's two types of eBay stores. There's volume stores where you have a lot listed, and then there's like really high-end stores where they have like a couple hundred listings and they have a lot of really high-end stuff. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it, but I chose the volume route because buildings are really cheap in my town. This building's probably roughly about 3,500 to 4,000 square feet. It has a whole basement downstairs, and I literally paid $35K. So if you live in an area where buildings are really cheap, then this method is going to be for you, because you're going to be able to sell volume. Put down in the comments what you want to see. If whatever videos you want to see, I will do, like how I do photos for clothing or how I do photos for hard goods. I am an everything store, so I do things a lot differently, but it's the same methodology. Is stick with a listing goal, do your listing goal, do this, do that, get better, get more proficient, get faster. That's the whole mythology. And if you use it, it works for hard goods. It works for everything. But you got to know all those categories too. So just keep that in mind. Like, some people have to niche down because they don't know as much. Your knowledge carries you through in this business. But put down in the comments what videos you want to see that could help you and your eBay business. Because if it can help you, then I want you to know it. So pictures, photos, whatever, put down in the comments what you want to see. Thumbs up this video. I would appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.